Hello, 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 everybody. Good to see y'all. Good to see you. Hey, Miss Justice, how you doing, sweetie? Much love, PG. So glad you're back. Hey, girl, you number one in here tonight. God bless. And number two is Sue. Sue, how you doing, sweetie? How you doing? God bless. Good to see you. Hey, PG. Much love to you. Much love to all y'all. You guys know it. And Angel P, number three. Good to see you, PG. Hey, girl, good to see you too. God bless. Minnie Pearl, you are number four, honey. Number four. Hey, everyone. Hey, hey, hey to you. Good to see you guys. Lisa, how you doing? Patty Point, Carmen. Good to see everybody in here. On, there's my Australia. Good to see you, girl. Hey, Jean, how you doing? All right. PG has reached the bottom. Got in here early tonight. So I'm reaching. Hey, Bridget, how you doing, sweetie? PG and everyone, much love to all. Summer's Army, amen. Spunky, how you doing? Haunted Coyote, Don. All Purple Hearts for Summer. Hey, God bless you, hon. God bless you. Just chilling. How you doing? How you doing? I've been trying to just chill, but I ain't working out too good, right? Ain't working out that great. Uh, hey Brenda, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Good to see all you guys. Anyway, lot been going on, right? Lot been going on. Seems like every time PG decides that she's gonna sit down for a minute, man, it really goes haywire out here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Ryan coming out with Lisa and attacking Ernie like that? How low was that, right? How low can you go? Um, that was horrible, absolutely horrible to watch, right? Or hasn't Ernie been through enough? I mean, like, Ernie was here. I know he was here when I came into the YouTube world, and he was here before Ziggy came into the YouTube world. Matter of fact, he was here before a few of us came into this YouTube world. And trying to help the children, right? He's always saved the children. And I know, none of us really do, none of us, we all have our different ways, right? And sometimes it ain't conventional, that's true. But, Ernie has his own style. He has his own way. And we all love him for that, right? We all love him for that. And I thought it was kind of evil. Evil is the word, pure evil, to attack him like that. They were wanting to show that little clip like they do, right? This big old boy, attacking Ernie up. And I watched the whole thing. Matter of fact, I have the entire video of that, not just their little snip and clip. I have the whole entire video. And Ernie really whooped that big old boy up, in truth. I mean, he had that big old boy running. That big old boy didn't want no more Ernie at the end of that clip. So, but they didn't show that. Of course, they're not going to, and that was a really big boy. And they didn't want to tell the truth as to why, all of that had went down. And the reason it had went down is because Ernie had called that that house, and he had spoke to the woman's daughter, which he had been living with. He had been living there, and he called back over there, I guess to see, he wanted to talk to her, not the daughter, but some reason he wasn't able to, and he, of course, he wanted to go back and get his stuff, right? And I'm sure that's what he was doing back there when all of that, went down and happened and everything. He was back, trying to get his stuff out of the place. And the lady didn't want, obviously, some women don't want to give you your stuff back, they rather throw it in the garbage or, whatever. Scorned women can be very evil. Trust me, I know. Right? I know. I've been there, done that, right? I've had boyfriends and, exes that they can get you awful upset, right? And you can get pretty violent, to be honest. You can do some real stuff when you're upset. All women can. I'm no exception. I'm no exception to that rule. Trust me. I'd be the first one. To let you know. I can be very devious, right? Especially when I think I've been crossed by somebody. Absolutely. So, and I understand, I understand both sides. I understand where this woman was coming from. I understand where Ernie was coming from, but I probably wouldn't have understood, back in the day when I was as devious as, as she is. And, like today I would, roll the person's bundle up and, here it is. Take it, get out of here with it. Back then, it probably wouldn't have been no better than what we saw in that video. That's maybe worse. But the point being is, I understand both sides. I understand where each one of them was coming from. But the point being is, Ernie's a very little guy. And for a little guy, he was, he more than held his own. I got to give him that. And at one point, he had a few of them guys on him. I mean, at one point, it wasn't even fair, to be honest. And he still held his own and true to everything going on. But hey, I missed you guys too. God bless you. But I don't lie, you guys. I don't lie. And if you want the truth, you're going to get it right here on this channel. That's for sure. You're going to definitely get it. But I'm just letting you know that what Ryan done, why make Ernie relive that? That's his past, Why make him relive it? Why do what they did to him? I don't know. I couldn't understand it. He's been through a lot. He's not who he was then, no more than, I'm who I was back in my day. And, when you're a teen, your young adulthood, you're rowdy, that's a time when you think you're going to live forever. You think that, the world is your oyster. You're just going to grab onto it and do what you want. And, to be honest, during them teen and early adult years, some people can be a little bit insane, and do some really wild things. But I'm going to tell you, life changes. right? Life changes when you get a family and you get a purpose and you want to, you know, become somebody better, somebody different than what you was, and you can do it. You can do it. A lot of us have, and Ernie's no exception. He's no exception to that rule. I think he's come a long, long ways. Ernie's had a lot of horrible things going on in his life, um, and every time he seems to come back better and stronger and more, you know, with more faith in God than before. And I think they're trying. You know, evil wants to break him. Evil wants to break you when you're coming back, you know, stronger and better and more God fearing than you were before. It wants to try to break you. And I think those two evil individuals, um, that's what they were setting out to do to Ernie. And I just want Ryan to understand that none of us, you know, and I think I can talk for all of us, none of us appreciated the evilness that he done with Lisa against Ernie. You know, we all love Ernie. And, you know, in our own way, at the end of the day, we love that guy. He's a fixture. He's a fixture out here, man. You know, um, it's like, you know, you can't, you just can't have, you know, can't have an apple pie without the apples, right? And that's just how it is. And Ernie just happens to be one of the apples in us in this giant apple pie out here. So, with that being said, you know, we Ryan finds truth. That's that's the person who went along with, you know, um, Weird Al, right? Lion Lisa, and you know, Miss Know It All that don't know nothing. Went along with her, you know. I mean, that was freaking insane within itself, right? That was insane within itself, you guys. I don't even know what to say about it. I really don't. You know, I wanted to say something in all of it, but I had to subscribe in order to, you know, defend Ernie. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not subscribing to the devil, right? I'm not subscribing to the devil. I wasn't going to do that. You know, they're all up into that woo woo stuff and all that weird um, shit. And, you know, Ryan ain't nothing but a Johnny come lately out here. He's a Johnny come lately. And, you know, seen an opportunity to make money doing what him and his old lady, you know, was doing anyway. Out hiking, right? That's their thing. They probably, you know, the stench in their house from all their woo woo stuff probably makes them not want to stay home very much, right? So they want to be out in the open air where they can actually breathe from the stench coming off their cells, because probably, you know, people who do woo woo stuff, I'm assuming, you know, they smell, you know, as bad as they are. And so they like to be out there in the open air so they can breathe and you know, go hiking. And I guess the higher up they get, the more wind, you know, blows the stench away. I'm not, you know, I don't know, but that's what they seem to like to do. So they figured, you know, they see an opportunity to you know, snatch on to Summer's case there in Tennessee, and they already knew Andy, right? Because Ryan's dad worked with Andy's dad, and they already were affiliated with one another. So he figured he'd snatch on to this little girl's case, and and why not make some money while they do what they love doing anyway, staying in the big open outdoors, where their own stench ain't gonna, overpower them. So it is what it is. But he came very late. He don't know a damn thing about this case. He don't know shit. He never done his homework. They lie. They make stuff up. They're willing to do, I'm sure that it was his old lady sitting behind that, that muckied up screen, so you couldn't see who it was. I'm sure it was his old lady. I mean, come on, how many people's got that dark of hair up to their fucking ears, chopped off up to their ears, with a humpty dumpty body like that. I mean, that's exactly what you seen on that blurred out screen. You seen, a dark headed lady, hair cut off up to her ears, mother freaking with a humpty dumpty body. And who in the hell is that? His old lady, right? That's his old lady. And that's why she wasn't over there where he was, because she's busy being behind the screen, lying about being up on 110 Ben Hill Road, right? Just like the twisted tea can, right? With the twisted tea can up there. She went up, she, disappears. And then she comes running back with her woo-woo stuff. Oh, I got a vision this way. I got a feeling something's this way. Yeah, the twisted teeth she just fucking drank. She wanted to run back and make sure there wasn't, that she got the last drop, right? She picked the can up to make sure she got the last drop. What the hell? There was no dirt on that can, not one dent on it. I mean, that can was brand freaking new. Right out of her damn pocket. Chugged it down her throat and threw it down and then ran back to pick it up like she had some kind of, that's so raven vision. It's like, whoa, I've seen better mother freaking, magic tricks than this out of freaking 2-year-olds, right? I've seen better than that out of 2-year-olds. You ever see, you ever give a 2-year-old a freaking one of them magic kit things where you get the hat and the bunny that goes down in it? Shoot, a 2-year-old can, hide the bunny down in there and then turn around and pull it out of the hat. You didn't even see the 2-year-old put the bunny in there. It seemed like more magic than her finding the twisted tea can she drank down. It's unbelievable, but it is what it is. But he has no rights coming out here attacking anyone when he didn't have his ass out here from day one. We're not going to let some Johnny come lately show up and start being violent to the people who were here, forever and a day, for the people who were here really working and doing what they could for this little girl from day one. We're not going to allow that. And, he needs to understand it and he needs to respect it. Right? But I wanted to get that out of the way because that's something that, that really upsetted me, to say the least. And I pray Ernie stays on the righteous path. I pray that he understands exactly what this evilness is trying to do, and I pray that that God gives him the strength to overpower it, to overcome it, and to rise above it. Ernie is above all of that. They're beneath him, and I hope he knows that. Also, that ain't the only things going on out here. Can seemed to make an appearance on days, right? Um, I guess Day and them handed Can her backside. Everybody see that? Did everybody see that? Candace got her backside handed to her. Remember how Candace came out here acting like she was boss? She was boss over on Benny Key's channel. She was boss on Ernie's channel. She was boss, coming out here acting like if I come up on your panel, you're going to do what I say. You're going to act how I want you to act. You're going to, I'm the boss. I'm running the show. I'm big shit. Hey Kim, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you, love. Yeah, and and I'm like, whoa, this is a big change tonight, right? That was a big change tonight. Can, like Day and her band of demons over there, they're like, you're going to do what we say. You talking to Cher? Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you're going to go talking to anyone else, we going to all turn against you like a pack of snakes we are. We're going to all turn against you, girl, and you ain't going to have nobody. You're going to be sitting in the corner, Can. You're going to be sitting in the corner, and all of us bullies, are just going to sit there and bully you up. You ain't going to have nobody. If you want to stay with the mean girls, you better just quit talking to Cher or anybody else out here, because we rule you. We the boss, bitch, not you. I was rolling, dude. I was like, what? What happened to Big Boss Can? What happened to Candace walking out here like she's some fucking body, right? What happened to her walking out here like she big somebody? She ain't nobody. She ain't shit with them women, right? She ain't nothing. Even Day gave her the ultimatum, right? Day's like, you been talking to Cher, Candace? Huh, girl? Is that what you been doing, girl? Because you're going to be doing that, right? We ain't going to be your friend. Yeah, the Day that, was talking so much crap about Dawn and Candace before, they supposedly became friends. The Day that's been reporting everything to law enforcement that she can on Can. She made Can look actually look like the dented up trash can that she really truly is, right? Yeah. She put old girl's ass in the corner. I'm like, all right. That works. But that was hard to watch. I like had my hands on my face, peeking through my freaking fingers. I'm like, whoa, is this really going on? I can't believe, Candace sitting there like, no, I'm not. At first Candace was like, yeah, and then after, they handed her a backside with it. She like, oh, I'm not going to be talking to nobody but you guys. I want to just be with you guys, right? I'm like, oh my goodness. Hey, I got super sticker. Hey, girl, I appreciate that, girl. God bless. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I'm like, whoa. Hey, little PG, how you doing tonight, sweetie? God bless you. Hey, Yorkshire Rose, good to see you, hon. Good to see you. Oh, yes, absolutely. Thank you. PG's little girl should go up on panel. Hey, if anybody, it's open panel here every night. You are welcomed. You are welcomed up here anytime. Trust and believe me. But yeah, so she got handed her backside by, Day and her pack of demons. And I found that to be pretty interesting. And then the Ziggy and Cher thing started going on, right? Then Ziggy and Cher started going on. And I'm going to tell you, I knew from day one. I knew from day one. I couldn't believe that anybody would even, hop on that freaking long black train, right? I couldn't even believe someone would hop on that, right? You better look for the, like they, just like the song says, you know, the devil's driving that long black train, right? I couldn't believe anybody got on that one, you know. Oh hell no. I mean, I wouldn't even want to be on the caboose of that shit. I wouldn't even want to be on the caboose, with an opportunity to get off. Um, hell no. I ain't be getting on nothing like that. And I'm like, wow, uh, that was that was insane from day one, right? Like Cher already, showed us who and what she is at the beginning of Summer's case. She showed us she wasn't about Summer. She was about all the monies. She's about filling up her pockets and her pocketbook, right? And I mean, Don and Candace would be talking. She'd be talking to Don, and here comes Candace, all freaking sloppied up, you know, on her drink, right? She'd be all slopped up on her drink, talking a bunch of crap, and screw you, Donnie, hug you, Donnie, Donnie. And we wanted to hear that shit. Put a one in the chat if you wanted to hear it, because I wanted to hear what she had to say. I wanted to hear what the hell he was going to have to say back, right? Because this could help Summer's case somehow. We could have got some information, to help figure out exactly early on what correspond between these idiots up there. And I'm wanting to listen, but did she let us listen? Did she let us hear what was going on up there? No. She would shut it off. I'm protecting you, Donald. I had to shut him off because I need to protect Donald. I need to protect him. We don't need to be hearing what's, all of this. I can call him later. No, she wasn't protecting him. She was protecting her pocketbook. She didn't want to let it keep going because then he might not let her call. He might not want to fucking talk to her again. She was protecting herself, and she wasn't for Summer, getting everything she could for Summer, because if she was getting everything for Summer, she would have let us listen. She would have let them two idiots go at it so we could get all the information we could in order to help this little girl. Right? Am I wrong? No, I'm not. But, that is, that's the bitch she is. Because she don't care about these missing kids. She's just like Benny Keys. That's why her and Benny was so damn close. That's why they were butt kissing buddies, right? They were booty kissing buddies. We all know it because one's just as devious and evil as the other one. And I'm going to tell you something. And look what she did in Quentin Simon's case, right? She said she done warned Billy Joe of me, a PG. Bitch, I don't care if you warned Billy Joe a PG or not, because I wasn't about. I don't mess with number one suspects, right? Over here, we don't kiss suspects' backsides, and we don't kiss backsides of people who mother freaking harbor number one suspects. And Billy Joe was harboring her daughter. She was harboring her own daughter, who she knew was mother freaking evil, and did what she did to that little boy. She was going out partying with this girl, putting this girl in hotels. She was, she was sitting there, doing everything she could to try to save her daughter after her daughter committed those evil acts. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. We all saw it. We all seen it. Who goes out partying with someone that mother freaking is capable of destroying a little innocent baby like Leilani Simon did? Who in the hell harbors a bitch like that? I'm going to tell you something. If I was that girl's mother, I would have told her, you're going to take this bum, this fucking bum you've been laying around in my house with, and get the hell out of here and don't come back. I hope law enforcement gets you, and I hope they do with you what needs to be done. Actually, I hope they do with both of you what needs to be done. Because I didn't leave one of you here. I left you both here. And this baby ended up destroyed by you. So you take your asses and you get the hell out of here. I ain't partying with the likes of evil like that. Hell no. I wouldn't be partying anyway. You know, what the hell is grandma doing partying? What the hell is grandma doing partying anyway? Grandma needs to be in the kitchen baking cookies. Grandma needs to be, be a grandma. Who in the hell's partying when they're 60? That's crazy. Just saying. It's time to give that shit up. It's time to give that shit up. I mean, when do people come to realization, that they done lost it? When are they going to come to realization that, gravity has taken hold, right? Gravity took hold. You've gotten older, and you really need, to become normal at some point in life, right? You got to become normal at some point in life. You got to, I would say, by the age of 25 or 30, you really need to stop the partying. What I'm saying, by the age of 25 or 30, really, when you have your first child, when you have your first baby, you need it to stop. The minute that you are going to be responsible for another life other than your own, you need to stop. Right then and there, you need to throw down all the partying. And you need to pick up what they call normalness. You need to pick up, some ice water. You need to pick up some frying pans, right? Some frying pans and some spatulas. You need to pick up, a real home, a real job, a real life. Because now you've got a life that you're responsible for. And that child's going to look up to you. And you don't want it looking up at you, seeing, liquor in your hands or, or anything else in your hands that's going to impair your judgment while you're taking care of a child. You don't need that stuff. You need to put it out the door. You need to stop making, the dealer, rich, right? Because you need that money to apply to your family and your home and the people you love. It is what it is. Oh God, I got Andrew in the back. Hey, that ain't no way to get up on my panel, Andrew. I thought you came in peace, man. But hey, if that's the way you want it, right? If that's the way you want it, you little Satanist, um, I just do this to you. You just got this holy steel toe boot, right? You got what they call the holy steel toe boot into PG hell. Go sit in there. Think about what you did. Don't come putting your two little freaking middle fingers up at PG. For real? I don't know where them things has been, man. Don't be doing that. Oh, I see that you like that steel toe boot. Here we go. Did that really turn you on? Did that turn you on, Andrew? I'm sure you'll be back for more if it did. It really turned me on. It really got me going, right? Oh, honey, turn the lights down low. Listen to the radio. PG said, no, no, no. I had to put him out in the snow. Right? And cool that mother freaker off. I have to boot him out into the snow. And he likes that heat. Keep kicking him into hell, but he likes the heat. That heat really turns him on. He's like, turn up the heat, PG. Gotta try to cool this one off. Yeah, he just keeps coming back for more. Can't get enough of me. Can't get enough of me, can you, Andrew? No. No. You must know I'm sexy. I'm really turning you on. Right? Maybe if I get that real deep voice, I really wouldn't be able to get rid of him, right? Right, yeah. Hey, girl, I crack myself up sometimes. For real. I'm telling you. Look at him. He has to go get something to suck on. He's trying to cool himself down now, right? Yeah, he does. I think he really does. I think he really has the hots for me. Must be my sexy voice. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, he just bagging to hang out with PG tonight. You can come back tomorrow night. You can come back tomorrow night, Andrew. Because I got some real good shit for you tomorrow night. I got some shit you don't want to see that you ain't gonna want to hear. Yeah, you little fucking troll. Thought I saw you under a bridge earlier today, peeking out at me and shit. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow is Friday. I'm sorry, Andrew. Sorry, but I take the 7th off. I don't even let evil like you get me in here on that day. No. It's really good. It's really good. It's really good. What I got, Andrew? Oh, man. I'm going to tell you, it is some devastating shit. It is some devastating stuff. Not to me, but to you and your boy. Super devastating. Super, super devastating. You ain't going to like it. You ain't going to like it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it. But you ain't. Just wanted to let you know. But I'm going to make you wait till Saturday. Right? You know why, Andrew? Because I know you love me. I know you love me so much. And And time away from you makes the heart grow fonder. Right? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. You're going to really love me come Saturday. I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry that, it's so hard for me to love this guy back. He must have heard somebody say that old line of BS, opposites attract. No, they don't. Not in this case anyway. Right? Not in this case. I'm an angel and he's a demon. It don't work. It don't work. It won't ever work. Andrew, so I'm afraid you're gonna have to go find a demon. I've already found my angel. Ain't you? Yorkshire Rose. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you find out how long you've been a member, but girlfriend, you've been one for a long time because you were here like at the beginning. You've been a member here. You've been here since day one. I remember you way at the beginning. So you've been here a long, long time. You might not want to look at how long you've been a member because it's going to remind us. It was going to remind us, right, that over 4 years has passed us by. I don't want to remember. I don't want to remember 4 years has passed us by. Right? She said yes. And that's true. I love you, girl. You know it. Yeah, we don't want to be reminded of that. Old age and poverty. Yeah. I'm going to tell you. I was talking to one of my kids today, you know, and I was telling my kids, about um God loves the poor, right? I said God loves the poor. And I was telling them, we was talking about I said I know why God loves the poor, because the poor people, I know when I was poor, I got up every day. I was living on life, right? I was living on life. I mean, um, you get up every day, it's like the same old, right? You get up, but you seem to have so much to look forward to. Like you get up, you ain't got nothing, but it feels like you got everything. Like you get up, you're energetic, right? You just don't care. You don't care about anything because you ain't got nothing to care about. And I mean, it's like it's a worry-free life. It's a beautiful worry-free life. And I'm like, you know, um, God loves the poor, and I know why. And because God's all you got, right? He's all you got. And you have so much faith and you just, and you're praying all the time, right? You're praying all the time because you ain't got nothing in you and you need stuff. It's not like, it ain't no want. You don't want this or you want that. You need some food. You need some, you're praying because you have all of these needs. And God's always, pulling you through and pulling you through. And, and that just makes your faith stronger and stronger and stronger in God because he's always pulling you through. And 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 you're just living this worry-free life all the time, and and it seems to be so wonderful. And once you seem to climb out of that a little bit, and and actually you know have a little something to worry about, um well, it's not so great. People thinks it's great to have stuff, to have these things. But when you have these things, you got to, what I'm saying is, when you're poor, you know who your real friends are, because you ain't got nothing for them to take, right? They just as poor as you. You're as poor as them. Nobody can take nothing from nobody. You're hanging around with each other because you want to. You ain't out to get anything from nobody, because there ain't nothing to be had. And so I'm telling my kids about, what a wonderful life it is. And and my son looks at me and says, "So we got something to worry about." I hate to say it, but I had to laugh. I had to laugh and laugh and laugh, right? Sad thing is, when you're driving, you know, it's hard to laugh on the road, right? Because you almost have to pull over. You almost have to pull the vehicle over. But man, I've been dealing with my own problems, right? Um, over for, I've been dealing with my own problems. Like my mother freaking vacuum cleaner locking up like a cart at the grocery store. You ever have that happen? You ever been vacuuming and all of a sudden your freaking vacuum cleaner locks up like the freaking grocery cart at the grocery store? I'm like, what the hell? I be dealing with my own mother freaking issues, and crazy shit. I'm like, wow, what's wrong with this thing? I ain't never seen that shit happen before, but it was happening to me. I'm like, whoa. He said, my son asked me when God made the world, what did he stand on? LOL. He was only 3 years old. Yeah, kids say the darndest things, right? They say the darndest things. I was telling my son about education, and I told him, I said, when when you're, I was telling him also, when you're poor, you don't care about education, because you're busy using your back to make your money, not your brain. And so you don't overly put a lot of stock into education. And and I said, and that's a wonderful, it's a wonderful thing, you know um that helps you not care either, because when you don't care about education, you're not straining your eyes to read books, you're not wearing yourself out, um and trying to master all these different things at one time in order to become something in life. You just get up, you go to work, and you do what you got to do to make it however you're going to make it. And so you don't put a lot of stock in education. And he, he said, and you got educated too? I didn't know if this kid's trying to get me to pull over to laugh, or to pull over and turn around and look at him. Right. I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Uh, I'm going to tell you. I didn't I didn't quite understand my little Mr. Fix It until recently. Right? There's my dryer. It just buzzed. That means my clothes are drying. Yes, I do wash laundry. I do wash and I do dry. That's proof. Right? It's proof I don't hang my britches out on the line after after using my pillow in my car. I leave my pillows on my bed. I don't take them to the car. I don't I don't think Benny Keys would like PG very much. Right? I, I don't think Benny Keys if Benny Keys met me, I don't think he'd be coming back. My pillow smells clean. I got clean pillows and clean clothes. Right? There's the dryer. I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times this thing. I don't know how many times this thing's going to do that before it decides to go off. I think I had one too many brownies tonight, you guys. You're gonna be waiting in the bushes to grab my undies. Good luck. Good luck, Don Wells. Right? Good luck with that. I keep my undies in a freaking safe after I heard he was out stealing them all. Right? You got you got to put those things in the you got to put those things in the pow pow safe. Right? The dryer decided to go off. Oh shit. Anyway, there's a big to do with Ziggy and Fred and Cher, right? It's like Fred's like, it's our money. We want it now. Right? That's what I heard. It's our money. We want it now. And I heard Cher saying, nope, not today. You're not getting it. Ain't happening. I ain't getting you no lie detectors test. Wasn't ever going to get you one anyway. Right? But, you know, Cher, in the Quentin Simons case, remember she's freaking took everybody to the cleaners saying she was going to, that she needed money to get the passport and to get all the stuff to go into Georgia and visit up with Billy Joe and them, and she was going to, do all this helping stuff and everything, and people donated tons and tons of money to her, and she used it to bring her kids over into Canada, right? She didn't ever have any plans of going to help Billy Joe or see Billy Joe or have anything to do with Billy Joe or Quentin's case. It was just another case she grabbed a hold of, like Summers, to fill up her bank account. And was a money grab as well, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is another fucking money grab. And, and like I said, if you want to hear the truth, you're going to hear it right here. You're going to hear it right now on this channel. Because I don't tell nothing but the truth. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It is what it is. And and she's a big bitch ass liar. That's, Cher's an evil. I mean, she sits over there in a hell cell. What do you expect out of someone? And look, what the fuck happened to her hair? It looks like a damn rope mop. What happened to her hair? What happened to your hair, Cher? It looks like a rope mop, right? What the hell? What the hell is that? I ain't never seen no shit like that before. That's just nasty. That's just nasty. Just saying. She looks like she got one of them big old rope mops going on. I tell you what's so wrong. What's so wrong is someone, using and abusing all of us out here in this community as a money grab, as a big money grab. And she's a liar. And she's a liar too. She's a liar. I'm about to prove it. I'm about to prove it, y'all.
What about you're going to show your Cash App?
I just said about the Cash App. Anyone who sent me a Cash App can be proven if they sent me it or not. Ladybird is one for $20, and then there's one more person. I'll have to look on my Cash App and see what it was for 20 or 25, but that's it. I don't get Cash Apps like these other people.
I don't get Cash Apps like these other people do. Right? That's it, $45. I got $45 to send to Brandy, Michael Vaughn's mommy. I got $45 to send. That's bullshit. That's pure bullshit. There's a lot more than $45 right here. $49.99. $49.99 right there for a polygraph test. Thank you for setting this up. What about that, Cher? That's like 95 now, right? That's like 95. Yeah, she took up a donation to get her teeth. Right? She took up a donation to get her teeth. We the people bought her teeth, right? I mean, when did it become everybody's job out here to put teeth in someone else's mouth? When did it become someone else's job out here to pay for her to bring her kids over to, over into Canada when her ass should have been over in America raising her daughters and doing what was righteous in the sight of God for her children? Right? Not running off over into Canada, getting with someone else to lay around with when she done laid around and got 2 children that needed to be taken care of, right? And not only that, but how many cat and dogs did she destroy? I think I heard something about that too, right? Animal cruelty. I mean, what do you really expect out of someone who could leave their children and be that damn cruel to fucking animals? What do you expect out of them? What do you expect out of somebody that sits over there in a fucking hell cell, something that looks like Satan's den? Right? Running her damn mouth. I don't know. Actually, to be honest. Yeah. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, Molly. That's true. She did. She said she got, at one point she said she got, yes, she did. She said she done paid for it all on her own. At first, she said she done paid for it, done had it set up. Now she's backtracking on all of it. She's backtracking on all of it. And I'm going to tell you, you know, I like to give Ziggy and Fred the benefit of the doubt. I like to give them that they had nothing to do with, this freaking cash grab out here. But I'm going to tell you something. It's people like Cher, it's people like her that keep other YouTubers from being able to make enough to even run their channels. It's people like them who make it hard for the rest of us to stay afloat out here. Because what you don't understand is when people like her continue to manipulate everyone and take them to the cleaners, then people get very, they get very paranoid and not want to help no one because they want to put everybody in the same boat with this piece of shit. And and the righteous people out here who are doing everything they can righteously and working very hard to get the answers for these kids, to keep these kids out here the way they're supposed to be, and to do all they can to help the children. Well, they're not getting enough to keep the channel afloat. There, a lot of us have to shut down because we just can't continue to put everything in this, into a channel that needs to be put into it in order to run it. We're not getting the support. We're not getting the support to keep the channel, the StreamYards and the internets and all the stuff, the apps and everything that you need to, to have to do all of this. It's very costly. And we rely on the people's support to help, to help the channel keep running, and we're not getting it because of people like her who's out here, using and abusing this kind of stuff, for the monies. Yeah, it's unfair. Because what you don't understand is at the end of all of this, what's going to happen is at the end of all of this, the only channels you're going to have left is her and Benny's and people, the ones the scammers. That's what you're going to have left, because all the other ones that's doing everything righteously just can't, they can't afford to keep moving forward. It's too much of a drain. It's too much of a drain, on our pockets because of her and people like her. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know about 5 kids. I know she had 2. That she left in the dust. I don't think the love of money is the root of all. Well, you shouldn't love money to begin with. But I don't think money is the root of all evil. I think greed is. I think greediness. I think want and greed is the root of all evilness. Is want and greed. See, you're supposed to get what you need. You're supposed to get what you need. Wants are extras. When you want something, you don't need it. You just like to have it. It's something you just like to have. And there's nothing wrong with like wanting to have a few nice things. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you start to want and willing to do evil to get those wants, when you're willing to screw anybody, anybody in your path over to get what you want, that becomes a problem. That becomes a problem. If you want something and you really want something, you don't need it, but you really like to have it, or you really want it, and you work and you save your money and you achieve it and you get it, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you really want something and you go lying and messing people over to get it, well, that's a damn problem. And it's a problem when you have enough to take care of yourself, but you want to keep yours and use everybody else. Like, basically what I'm saying is, you have money to buy food, but you'll go to someone else's house every day for dinner, to eat free off of them. That's greedy. That's being greedy. When you show up at someone else's place every day to eat, just to save your money for other things, that's rude. That's what they call greed. If you have money to pay your bills, but you go around and you say, hey, I can ask that sucker for money to pay my bills, and then I can take my bill money and keep it, for me, that's greedy. That's greedy. There's a lot of people that will live off of you so they can bank all of theirs, so they can save all of theirs. If they think you're stupid enough to pay all their bills, well, they'll let you. And that's evil. That's evilness. And there's a lot of people out there like that, you guys. A lot of people. I think she's getting double ugly and evil up in Canada. I don't know about double anything else, but I think she's getting double evil and ugly up there. That's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have it. But you heard her lying tongue right here. You heard her lying tongue.
Ladybird is one for $20, and then there's one more person. I'll have to look on my Cash App and see what it was for 20 or 25, but that's it. I don't get Cash Apps like these other people do, and that's easily proven.
Lying ass bitch. Right there. $50 fucking dollars. $50 for the poly. I proved my point. Right? I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe I ain't ever kissed ass in my life, and I ain't about to fucking start now. I'm not an ass kisser, y'all. Not an ass kisser. Ain't ever going to fucking be one. Right? It's not my metabolism. All right? It's not in PT's metabolism. I'm just saying. Ain't ever been a fucking ass kisser. Not about to start to be one today, next week, next month, next year. Not ever. Ever. And I'm not going to try to snooze this one over for no freaking body. I'm going to tell you, these people out here are evil as fuck. I'm just going to warn you now. You got some evil mother freakers out here. This woman happens to be one of them. That goes around every opportunity she can get and takes people to the cleaners. Just like these mother freakers having 10 birthdays a year. 10 fucking, ain't no way in hell you have that many fucking birthdays a year. Jinkies has 5 or 10. Her damn son has 5 or 10. Mother freaking Day Day, I don't know how many fucking birthdays she had. I mean, all these people have like all these fucking birthdays, right? Shit, I only got one fucking birthday. And the only reason I got that one birthday is because these evil fuckers gave it to me, right? Halloween. PG's birthday's on Halloween. Hey, that's good with me. I'm good. It's only one birthday a year. At least it's just one. I'm happy for that. You know, I wouldn't want to age like them bitches are. They're aging mother freaking 10, 12 years in 1 year. Even their damn kids are getting old, right? They're gonna be like 150 fucking years old. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, that's, that's what they do. That's what they do. Yeah, there you go, Granny's house. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. You said that her son has a birthday this week. No, that boy had a birthday just a few. Put a 1 in the chat. Please put a 1 in the chat. If you remember her son having a birthday, mother freaking just a few months ago, and then had a birthday a few months before that. I know for a fact. I heard about this boy having like, hey, I don't know how many birthdays he's had this mother freaking year, but he's had a lot, and so has she. They both have had a shit ton of birthdays. It's my birthday, y'all. It's my son's birthday, y'all. If you want to give us some, he's got his, hell, I remember her getting about $500 or more a few months back for that boy. And it's supposed to have been his birthday then. And that was right before summer. That was right before the summertime hit. And right after Christmas, he was supposed to have one. So he's having quite a few, and I really believe that, like, this last birthday he had a few months ago, it was like a couple. It wasn't even a month. It was like a few weeks right after the first one that he's supposed to have another one. So, yeah, he was supposed to have like a lot of freaking, hey, Yorkshire Rose, I appreciate that. God bless. So super sticker. All right. I appreciate it. Oh, wow. Carrie, 16 months. Hey, beautiful lady mods in chat. Good to see you all. Good to see you, girlfriend. I appreciate you supporting the channel. God bless. Yeah, I'm telling you, these people, they're monsters. They're monsters. Money hungry freaking monsters. For real. I'm going to tell you, these motherfuckers, these motherfuckers, they are freaking eating. They are mother freaking eating, steak, and they think that, they're trying to feed us some fruity fucking pebbles. They think we are fruity fucking pebbles, believe in their bullshit. And I'm going to tell you right now, ain't happening. Absolutely not. I'm going to tell you, people have to wake up out here. You want to talk about getting woke? We need to get woke, people. We need to get woken up and see these, and see these people who are doing this and stop affiliating ourselves with them. Stop affiliating ourselves with them. Start calling them out. Start calling them out. I'm going to tell you what, if that kid has another birthday this year, I'm going to call it out, and I'm going to have documentation of his birthday now. And he better not have another one until mother freaking this time next year. Because if he does, Jinkies, I'm calling your ass out on it. I'm going to start documenting your damn birthdays. Trust and believe me. I'm going to get a mother freaking calendar, and I'm going to mark your old boy's birthday and yours. Because these people out here do not deserve to be taken to the cleaners like this. And you are evil if you do it. This just is what it is. Hey girl, it's the thought that counts. It is the thought that counts. She say, if I had money, I'd send you a super sticker, PG. I say you keep it real. Hey girl, I'm going to tell you what. I appreciate, I appreciate it as much as you saying that as I would if you sent a sticker. For real. I appreciate the thought. The thought is what counts. I've seen many times when I wanted to help someone and I couldn't. I just didn't have it. I couldn't help them. But I wanted to. God knows my heart. And I'm going to tell you, it's that thought that really counts. God knows you want to help somebody. That's what counts in a person. That's how you know. I think that's how God lets you know that you're really good souled, that you're doing everything right, is when when you really want to give, you ain't got it, but you sure wish you did. I think that's God letting you check yourself. Just saying. Yeah, I do keep it real, and I'm going to always keep it real. But I'm going to tell you, this stuff like she's doing's got to stop. This ugliness. I mean, she didn't ever plan to get Fred a lie detector test. She didn't plan to get him one. Ever. I don't know if he even was willing to take it. I don't know. This could be a scheme. This could be a scheme between the three of them. Cher could have got a big money grab and split it with them for all I know. There's some evil bastards out here. I'll tell you that now. And I know from prior experiences with Ziggy that she's pretty mother freaking evil herself. Just saying. She's pretty damn evil herself. I'm not letting her off the hook. She's mother freaking evil too. And would it surprise me if they did some dirty shit like this? No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Because, Fred didn't pass the last lie detectors test that he took on Cotton Simpson. He didn't pass it. And if he really wanted a lie detectors test in a big case like Summer Wells, he could go to any of these talk shows. He could go to Dr. Fields, say, him and Ziggy could go to Dr. Fields saying, hey, we are so stressed out. We just got married. He's a suspect in this case. We're putting up with a lot of BS that we don't want to put up with. We wish someone would just give him a lie detector. He just wants to be cleared. He just wants to tell what he knows. He just wants to be cleared of all of this so we can live in peace and people can be good to us instead of ugly. And you know what? Dr. Phil have them right on there. Steve Wilkos would have them right on there. So many would have them right on that show. giving them a lie detectors test, paying for every damn thing. They would pay for the tickets there. They would pay for all the tickets home, pay for the meals, pay for the hotel, pay for everything. It's a full package deal, a lot of help, and everything would go great, right? If they really was serious about getting it done. And and that's what the people out here need to start telling them. No, Cher, we're not giving you no fucking 500 for a lie detectors test. We're not giving Ziggy and Fred no 500. We're not giving anybody 500. What we'll give is you the phone number to Steve Wilkos, to freaking Dr. Phil, and take your asses on there if you're serious. You get a free damn vacation along with everything else. And if you're serious about it, you'll go do it. If you're not, screw you. Right? We ain't giving you shit. Now, if you like the channel, if you actually are a follower of one of these channels and you like the channel, then hey, I say, give them a couple bucks here and there to help them support their channel, to keep it running, because it does take money, out here to do what we do. Yes, it does. I mean, Ziggy has to pay for, her StreamYard, and she has to pay for, the internet and so forth. I don't see her using a lot of apps, for content and stuff. Because she doesn't put up a lot of content. So, but she does have, some things that she needs to keep up in order to do this. The electric, electric costs us a lot of money today's world. So, yeah, I understand that it does cost a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with helping a channel if you like it. I like some channels that I donate to. I like some channels that I actually send stuff. I send them, stuff. Because I like them. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's my money to spend how I please, and I give where I want to give. So, and I understand, by running this channel, I understand everything that goes into it. Something I didn't understand when I first started, but I do now. And it takes a little money to run what we're doing here. So, of course, if you're supporters of that channel, then by all means, but don't let them feed you a line of shit and have you paying their bills. It's not your job to be feeding them, sending them no DoorDashes. It's not your job to be paying their gas and electric and phone bills. It's not your job to be buying them cars or gas for their car or dog food for their dogs. It's not your job to be doing none of this. It's, that's not what you're here for. You support the channel, and, now and then you give a little to help the channel to keep running. That's very kind and very much appreciated, I'm sure. But that's, if you want to do that, that's all you should be doing. That's all you should be doing. Nothing more at all. Do not donate for lie detectors tests. Don't donate for people to go to Tennessee or to go here, to go there. That's, if they want to go to them places, let them go. Let them go. You guys, it's very nice of you to help with like the StreamYard, the internet, the electric it takes to run all of this. Thank you. God bless you for helping with all of that to keep us out here doing what we do. God bless you. But don't be doing anything else, you guys. That's just, that's not righteous. They should be feeding themselves, paying their own freaking phone bills and their own, electric and gas and so forth and so on. I mean, they're probably out here for 2-3 hours, you know. So if you want to help them support 2 or 3 hours a night worth of electric, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. But don't let them try to get you to pay for 24 hours worth of electric that they fucking used. That's bullshit. Hey Cindy, I appreciate that super sticker. All right, girl. God bless. I appreciate it. And that will pay StreamYard. That will go on StreamYard. You know, what this channel takes in gets put back in to this channel. It gets put right back in here to be able to do what we do. And you know, and trust and believe, PG puts a lot in. I put a lot in myself. And you know, and that's okay. That's okay. You know, I'd rather be putting in than bumming. I cannot. I ain't ever bummed in my life. You know, maybe it's wrong that I ain't ever been the type of person to ask for help, even if I need it. I don't want it, you know. I just ain't ever, you know. I admire people who, you know, sometimes I think that, you know, I made my kids do without some stuff that they could have had, you know, like maybe they could have had a better Christmas if I would have just, you know, dropped my pride and asked for some help. Asked for the help when I needed it. But I couldn't, you know. I'm not that type of person. I can't do it. And, you know, so they got, you know, they got what I was able to afford to give them, you know. And that's it. A lot of times, you know, after their dad passed away, a lot of times we only got one gift. It was one gift for everyone. And we would save, you know, the money, all of us. My boys and myself, you know, we would do extra like jobs, you know, cut people's grass. We would go and cut people's grass on the weekend when I wasn't working. And we'd put that money in the till, right? And sometimes we go shopping for people we knew, you know, people we knew couldn't really get out of their houses to do a lot of stuff. And so we would go to the stores for them and do stuff to make a little extra, and we put it in a till, and then whatever I had left over, you know, from my job, we put in a till. And at Christmas we would get, you know, Christmas dinner, and then we would get like one gift, and it would be for everybody, maybe a game machine, if you know, if that's what we decided on. I think one Christmas we got a TV because our TV was really getting bad, so we got a TV. One Christmas we actually, you know, got a computer. You know, but it was one gift for everyone. And we shared equally, you know. Everybody takes turns, and nobody tries to hog anything. And we, you know, we really was grateful and thankful for, you know, just the one thing we was able to have. And maybe that's why I got pretty good kids. Maybe that's why, you know, I give all glory to God for my children. But maybe that's why, you know, why they're such good children, because, you know, they didn't ever have all of that stuff. You know, we had to band together and work as one to get what we got. And you learn to appreciate it. You learn to appreciate everything when you have to work so hard like that to get something, right? That's that's the way it is. Hey Cindy, I appreciate that super sticker. God bless. God bless, girl. I appreciate it for real. Oh wow, Carrie, super sticker. Wow. Hey you guys, God bless you. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much. Hey, I do appreciate it. God knows PG's heart. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, this channel does, you know, tell the truth. It's America over here. This is America, where we say what we want to say, we do what we want to do. It is what it is. If any of you guys are, feeling like that you need to come up here, that you need to, to give your opinion on what has been going on out here over the last few days. The PG, has been dealing with my own issues behind the scene. And I know it's been very traumatic for you guys out here, hearing Ryan attack poor Ernie, when he's at his weakest moments right now. Just, he's still recovering from that accident. I mean, Ernie could have not even have been with us. He could have not even have been with us anymore. And here they are attacking him like that. That's just evil. That's evil, you guys. But, and I know that was hard on all of you, and I'm sorry. I'm very sorry that happened. No one should have to endure anything like this. And, and then Cher, doing this to we the people out here, using a lie detector test she didn't ever plan to get, a money grab, and it's just BS. It's just BS. So if you feel you need to come up here and have a say, get some stuff off your chest, please take the link, come up, and let the world know. Let the world know how you feel. Hey, Caroline, I appreciate the girl, that super sticker. All right. God bless. God bless. I really appreciate that. I do. I appreciate it. God bless y'all. Oh, another super sticker. Yes. Oh, wow. I appreciate that, Australia. God bless you. And yeah, I appreciate that. Yes. Another super sticker. Wow, you guys are amazing. Absolutely amazing. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was. It was. That girlfriend, that is so true. It was. Mackenzie, you're right. You're right, girl. And I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. Hey, Australia, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm good. How's my beautiful PG?
Hey, I'm doing good, girl. I'm doing better now that I'm here with you guys. I'm doing better.
That's good.
You guys don't. I crazy missed you.
Missed you too.
I
There's
was
been a
trying.
lot of crap.
I
A
was
lot of crap
trying.
going on.
Absolutely. I was trying as good as I could to keep everybody updated on Facebook. I was doing my best. To keep you all in the loop with everything, and and how we don't agree with
Yep.
it. We do not agree with it. I was trying to, do my best. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry that, I had to take a minute.
No,
I needed
you
it.
need to have a break yourself too.
Yeah. And
You'll burn yourself into the ground
girl,
when you
you know,
work and
taking it,
you're on here
that's
and you've got no time for PG time.
that's taking it, that's putting it mildly. That's putting it mildly. I was working my job, working a lot of overtime, as well, and then doing all of this on top of all of that, and then, trying to run my household and trying to do, do all the running that you got to do when you have a family full of children and stuff. And, it became too much. It became too much, So I had to, take a back seat for a minute. Didn't want to, but had to.
No, you need to, and that's okay. I watched. I switched over to Ryan for like I think 10 minutes. Then I saw Fuzz Nuts come up on screen. Listened to her ramble for a while, and listened to them berate Ernie, and the words that they were saying was horrible.
Yeah,
Absolutely terrible how they tried to burn him down.
they wanted
And I
they
thought Ryan was a channel who stood for morals. He said he had morals anyway.
put
Well,
on a damn good
he
show
just
for us, didn't he? Put
he
on a
just
damn good
he
show
just
for
he
everybody.
just proved to the public that he's no good. He's no better than Lisa Kay, Ghost, the Mean Girls, any of them. He's just as bad as them all.
Hey, I knew that. I
Yeah,
knew that.
scumbag.
I called him out. I called him out long time ago. I called him out for what he was. You know, when I seen that woo woo stuff, he came over here portraying to be a Christian, portraying that that they were Christian people. And and I'm one of those people, I don't judge folks. I take you for what you tell me you are at first until you show me different. And when they came over here portraying to be Christians, we welcomed them in. We were very kind to them until we found out, that no, they're woo-wooers. Him and his old ladies running around, they're doing some really weird shit, messing with stuff that our God forbids us to be getting into. And we had to walk away from it. We had to call it out and walk away from it because, I'm not going to end up in hell for affiliating myself with some woo-woo people that I don't believe in. I ain't going to do that. I'm going to tell you, the only reason we're here is to prove to God that we can be good enough to live forever. And I'm going to tell you, this life right here is a puff of smoke, baby. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to waste this puff of smoke, getting in trouble on trying to support some evil humans that should not be supported. It ain't happening. Hell no. I mean, what I'm saying is, if I end up in hell, it ain't going to be for doing no evil like that, right? It ain't going to be for that.
Yep.
No, not today, tomorrow, next week, or any other day. I'm trying to stay on the right path as hard as it is. And trust me, it's very hard in this world today. I'm starting to realize more and more and more every day why the Bible says that, that the narrow path will be few treading it, very few treading it, that most of the people's going to be on the big wide road. And that's because in this world today, people make you hate. They make you dislike. They make you want to come down on their level. And,
Yep.
and give them the what for. and you know, and it's really hard to restrain ourselves, to stay on the, you know, to restrain ourselves. It's very hard, you know, to fight the flesh, to fight our flesh that's wanting to go down on their level and, you know, do what we feel needs to be done. We're supposed to, you know, we're supposed to try to stay in the spirit and, you know, and avoid it as much as we can, you know. um Actually just, you know, actually just walk away from it and stick with God if you can. A lot of times it ain't that easy. And
That's right. My mum used to say it takes a bigger man to walk away from something than what it does to fight back.
well, you know, I'm going to tell you, sometimes you can't walk away. Sometimes
Sometimes you
you
have to.
stand your ground. Sometimes you
Yeah,
just got to stand your ground against this
you have
evil
to.
in today's world. You got to stand up. You got to stand against it. You got
Yeah.
to let it know. You got to let it know that it is not going to overtake you. That you will not allow it. That you will do at all costs whatever it costs to keep it at bay. You know, and that's just, you know, the way you got to live today. I mean, you can't hardly walk away anymore. I mean, I hope God understands that, you know, that it ain't that. I'm pretty sure he probably does understand that, you know, this world's going to get so wicked that you can't just walk away, that you're going to have to, you know, that you're going to have to put on that suit of armor. You're going to have to stand against it, or it's going to overtake us. And
I've learned so much about God, Christianity, the Bible, and everything since I've been
right,
coming into Summer's Army, hanging out with all of you.
right.
I've learnt from you, from Janet, from Brat, so much. Unbelievable.
Hey, our bucket list. I appreciate that, girlfriend. I appreciate the
And our
support.
bucket list household,
Summer
she's a
strong.
beautiful lady.
Amen. I so
She's a
appreciate it.
beautiful lady. So's Kerry and
No,
Denelyn and
I'm gonna
Molly.
tell you, we have a
I
beautiful
love
family.
Molly.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, Molly cracks me up, girl. She really cracks me up. That Molly is.
She's a
She's
she's a firecracker, isn't she?
she is. She absolutely is. I'm gonna tell you, she's something.
She's
And
adorable.
love
I love
Molly.
her.
Yeah, so do I. So do I. Molly, I'm gonna tell you, um, she just didn't give up. She just didn't give up. Contacting me and contacting me and contacting me. Um, I was so busy and so happened, you know, so much to do here, and she just, I finally, she got a hold of me. She's like, "Where you been? What are you doing?" Yeah, she was. She's like, she's.
Really?
I was getting ready to send out a search party.
How sweet.
Yes, she is just. She's so silly, and she had me laughing so much. Carrie, I can't see. I can't. Your screen is just. There's nothing on your screen. It's like all dark. It's completely dark. I'm going to try to bring you. This is you, right, Carrie?
You'll know when you hear a voice.
I'm thinking it might not be her. Is that you, Carrie? I can't hear you.
You're on mute.
No, she's not mute. I can't hear her.
Maybe it's not her.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it's not.
She talks straight away.
Go out and try to come back in, Carrie. Okay, now I can see your avatar. Now I can see your avatar. Is that you, Carrie? Carrie, is that you? You ain't got no sound, girlfriend. Something's wrong with the sound.
I keep cutting in and out too.
I know I can hear you perfect.
I've got bad internet where I am today.
Okay, PG's daughter, I'm bringing you up, sweetie. What's up, girl? I
Hi,
can't hear you.
Carrie. Hi, Australia. Hi, Mama PG. Much love. Miss you. And I'm glad I
Hello,
got the text
PG
and blew
little
you up
girl.
too. Hi, my
Can
blessing.
can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
There
We
you
hear you,
are.
beautiful Carrie.
Is that you, Carrie?
Yeah, but I can't see anyone.
Hello, Cobber.
Hello, lovely.
How are
Okay.
you?
Good.
I
Two
feel like
Australians,
giving you a
yes.
I feel like giving you a big cooey. Oh,
Well, my son had his little baby boy Wednesday night. Well, he's not little, 9 pound 5,
Oh,
oh
wow.
wow.
but he's beautiful.
Congrats.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
Australia, me and you get to make a wish, girlfriend. We said, oh, wow, at the same time. That is
So
a big baby.
yeah, she had to
my
have a
my
C-section.
boy was 9'6".
Did they ever figure out what makes a baby so big like that?
Don't know. My father was
Yeah.
14 pounds.
Wow,
My
that,
Oh,
father was 14 pounds and came out of a woman 5'2".
what?
She had to
Woo!
have a hysterectomy after it.
oh
Oh
yeah, I
my
would think so.
gosh.
God, he was a cutie.
Wow. That, how much did your dad weigh?
14 pounds.
14 pounds?
Yep. And my
Ooh.
brother was 10 pounds. My son was 5.5. Maddie was 8'10".
Oh boy. Oh boy. I haven't ever had any children. None.
Hello.
None that weighed
Hi,
more than
Carrie. Love you.
none that weighed more than like 7 pounds.
PJ.
All of my kids were all like um I had one preemie, and then the other ones were like between 5 and 6, 6 some ounces like that, um on their birth weight. Wow, I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't imagine 9 pounds. That scares me. That
Yeah,
scares me.
she ended up having to have a cesarean,
Whoa.
but he doesn't. He doesn't.
Actually, I heard that, a lot of people, you think that natural birth would be the easiest, but and I had all of mine. I had all of mine natural. No anything. I didn't want nothing. But I hear that the C-section sometimes is way easier. I don't know. I haven't ever had one, but I heard that sometimes it can be easier.
I was in
Yeah,
labor for
I need Mama's
24
mattress.
hours.
You was
I
in
was
labor
in labour for
24 hours.
24 hours with Jono, and then then a cesarean.
Oh, wow. 24 hours of labor?
Yep.
Oh, girlfriend, I don't think, no. Just, it seemed like just the 5 or 10 minutes that I was in, it was enough. Right?
That was hell.
I'm going to tell you, what what my grandmother would say, and my mom. My mom would say, um, walk when you start to, feel the contractions coming, walk around the table. She said, walk around the table, the kitchen table, walk around it, and you'll have the baby a lot faster. I don't know what's up with walking around a table, but there's this old wife's tale that if you walk around the kitchen table like so many times, that that the baby will come immediately instead of you being in labor for hours like that. And I always did. I always walked around that table like I was told. My mother wouldn't even let you out the door, you know, um, to go to a hospital unless my sisters, walked around the table. She wouldn't even let them out the door. And she'd say, walk, around the table. And I always did the same thing. I walked around the table as well. I went to my sister's house with my one of my sons, and I went around the table because I told her, our mother always said to do this, and I was walking around the table, and she said, yeah, I know. She said, don't ever stop by mom's house when you're in labor because she'll make you walk around the table before she lets you out the door. Which it was the truth. My mother would do that. She would not let you out. Don't go to her house. Do not go to her house if you're pregnant in labor because she would make you walk around the table. But the kids came so fast. That's true because with me, I barely made it to the hospital. My kids were already needing to be delivered. So I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true. I didn't ever not try it. So I wouldn't know if it's the truth or not. But my sister said, same thing for her. My mother made her do it. And as soon as she got to the hospital, she was having her kids as well. So I don't know. Phoebe should have walked around the table.
Yes.
24 hours.
I walked around and around and around the hospital all night long. I watched Mr. Ed in the morning with Mum. The talking horse.
Yeah, yep.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And it went on went on all day. And by the end of it, I was just screaming.
Wow.
I kept myself
Miss Justice said that the farthest
I
she made
could.
it was the bathroom.
But
Oh, whoa.
if he had, lucky I didn't push him out. He had the cord wrapped around his neck, the poor little thing.
Aw.
But God, he was a beautiful baby.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, Jane said she did it too. She said, walk and stop. My daughter was the same, PG. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah, I guess, it must work. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
know that walking helps. You need
I
to be
know my
upright and walking.
Yeah, I know my grandmother and my mother would always say, um, walk. I remember we was at my grandmother's when my aunt had went into labor, and I can remember my grandmother. I was real little then. I was like really little. I hadn't even started school, but I can still remember my grandmother saying, straighten your back, straighten your back. and walk around the table. Straighten your back and walk around that table. You know, so you won't have hard labor and the baby will come quick. And oh, my aunt, man, you should have seen her straighten that back and do what my grandmother, you know, it was like, I was thinking to myself, you know, because my dad used to say my grandmother was like Sergeant Pat, you know, that's what he would say. For some reason, he would call her Sergeant Pat, but because you know, she was like really bossy and everything. And she was a hardworking woman. I mean, this woman, let me tell you, talk about a woman that could take nothing. Her house was always spotless. She could take nothing and turn it into a feast. I mean, she was amazing. My grandmother was amazing. I loved her. But yeah, she, you know, but my aunt, man, I mean, she got to the hospital and it wasn't no time. We was hearing, you know, that the baby was there and everything's good. And, you know, and those people live by that stuff. They live by, you know, all of that. You know, sweep your own doorstep before you go sweeping someone else's. They live by, you know, and don't be walking under ladders or stepping over brooms. Like, what? You know, they had some really
How cute.
weird stuff, but I'm like, shoot. I think walking under the ladder would be safer than walking around it. I mean,
Right?
right? If that sucker's going to slide, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be going around it. I want to be going under so I can get there on the other side quick. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever believed in old wives' tales. You know, you know the ones like walking under a ladder or a black cat or anything like that.
You
Where did
know,
Carrie go?
the bad luck that I've had all my life, it might be true because I used to, you know, I didn't like to listen to that stuff either, and I was always walking under the ladders and stepping over the brooms, and you know, look how I turned out. Right?
You nearly made me spit my
If it
drink
weren't
out
for
then.
work, I'd have no luck at all.
Where did Carrie go?
I don't know. She fell off. She knocked
I bet
herself off.
she fell in the basement.
I'm looking for her. She went down to get the brownies. She
That's where she went.
she gonna get the last of the brownies, girlfriend. We all gonna be up here.
Well,
We're
right.
gonna all be
I
up here
told
sober.
right. I kept Australia, Daniel, Janet, everybody when I talked to you. She's not coming on tonight. She's not coming on tonight. She's resting. She's
Yeah.
resting. So
I spoke to her at the same time, but I might have been texting.
oh,
PJ
it's
and I were
always so
texting.
peaceful talking to mom.
What do you guys think about what Cher did? What do you guys think about
It's
what
not
she
right.
did?
I think that's
Do you think that her and Ziggy and Fred all correspond together to get this money grab?
I
And
think
now
so.
they're acting like they're mad at each other when they're indeed not mad at all. Because Fred acted like he didn't want us to begin with.
I think it was all a scam to begin with, but
Mhm.
then I think someone covered their backsides by
Drifting at me.
calling it off and trying to apologize to the public. You know who I'm talking about.
I
Yep.
think Cher wanted to give
Yeah.
Brandy 45 bucks and pocket the rest because look right here. Take a
I never
look.
said I wanted to keep
Look.
500. Who? See, people are just lying.
No.
That's
No, people ain't lying. People ain't lying. Right here. And I'm telling you, I'm sure I heard her say that she had already gotten up to 500. And look, somebody gave 50. And I'm sure if she ain't counting this 50 in that 20 or 25, she wasn't counting this. How much more was she not counting for the polygraph test? How much more? Because we know she pocketed this. We know she pocketed this right
Right.
here. How much more did she pocket? You know, that's
A
what I'm
lot.
talking about.
And it's really not for the public's ears anyway, a polygraph test.
Um, if Fred wanted to prove to we the people out here
I
that
believe Fred wants to.
he had nothing to do with the Summer Wells case and he had nothing to do with what happened to Cotton Simpson, then he should go on a talk show. He should go on
Yes.
like Dr. Phil, or he should go on, you know, as I said, the other guy's show.
Steve
And
Wilkos.
Steve Wilkos. He should go on one of the talk shows and he should, you know, and he should do the polygraph and let the results be given out to everyone, you know, so you know, so he
I
could be.
truly believe Fred wants to do the polygraph, but there's someone in front of him with a stronger voice who's always speaking out for him.
But he's a big boy
Wh-
too. You
I
know what I
know, but
mean? He can
I
speak
know,
up.
but she won't let him.
I
It's
just don't understand.
ridiculous.
Right, right.
He should open his own channel and talk to people.
Yep.
Wow, I am so sorry to hear that. Educated. She said my OBGYN was a former drill sergeant, and during labor, she told me I wasn't allowed to make a noise. However, she cut my baby's head. Whoa.
Oh,
He broke my water. It was a rough 35 hours. God have mercy.
Oh.
Oh, girlfriend, I am so sorry to hear that.
that's just tragic. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I think they're scheming for money. Just as like always, you know. And I was listening to somebody's channel today and she had no running water. CPS came to her house, to Ziggy's house, blah blah blah. She don't know why. Well, people heard you not feed your daughter, hiding the food, staying up all night.
Um, Caroline's asking for prayers. She said, I will
Prayers.
keep you all posted. The neurosurgeon is reviewing MRI. She may have had a stroke. She is 19. Hey, girl,
Oh,
we will keep
Oh, that's
prayers.
sad
Yes,
too.
I,
prayers.
I pray
I'm
that,
going. I'm
I
going to the neurologist on
there.
Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you.
Maddie's coming with me, where she's shouting me overnight at a motel,
Oh,
and then that afternoon I've got to go and see the neurologist.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that.
I just hope I get answers.
Right.
gotta lead the way. Always does.
Hey, I'm going
Everything
to
will be
tell you.
good.
I learned a long time ago the
Yeah,
best physician in the world is Jesus Christ. I'm going to tell you, he's the best. And
I've been praying and praying and praying.
hey, girl, I'm going to tell you what I have seen. I believe, I truly 150% believe in God Almighty and His Son Jesus Christ. I believe in healing. I am I am a walking testimony that God heals. Trust me, if it wasn't for God Almighty, PG wouldn't be here today. You if you don't believe, you need to believe, because I'm going to tell you, I have been healed. I've seen other people be healed, and they've had some very bad things, But I'm going to tell you something. I have seen people being healed by their own faith and their own want to God to heal them. And Jesus don't half heal you. He completely heals you. He didn't half make the blind man see. He made the blind man see. He didn't half raise anybody. He completely raised them. When Jesus does the job, he does it 100%. And I'm going to tell you, if by your faith you are healed, and you got to know that God don't, God and Jesus don't do nothing half. They do it whole.
That's
They
right.
make you whole. And, so I have seen people healed by their own faith, and I've seen people healed by someone else. There's many people been healed by someone else on their knees praying for them. And,
Well, that's weird that you're right.
it doesn't always have to be your loved one's faith. It could be your faith that heals
Yep.
them. If you really love them, you really care about them, and you're willing to do what it takes to beg the Lord to see it your way, to save them and let them continue to move forward for a while, he will do that. And I'm going to tell you, I tell you a little something. There was this man, and there was a lot of people talking about how he's going to pass away. Some of it was his own family, made me very sad. I was in the church house, and it made me very sad to see these people talking, because he had brought his life to the Lord. He was very bad off. They were counting as good as gone anyway.
Right.
You know, during all of this. And it made me very sad because, I was praying. I was praying, you know, I felt like I was praying in the opposite direction of these people who were praying. I felt I was praying for him in the opposite direction. I felt I was praying for him to live and to let him get to know the Lord before he gets called home, giving time
Right.
to really know who God and how beautiful God and Jesus really are and can be in this world. And I was really sad for this man, and I was continuing to pray and pray and pray for him. And you know what? He showed up at the church and he was okay.
Yep.
And I was so grateful
Oh,
because
that's beautiful.
God answered that prayer. I knew he answered my prayer. And that's the way we should pray for people. That's how we should pray for them. Um, you know, when everyone else is given up, we should hold faith and hold strong and continue, to 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 want them to be here with us longer. Because I'm going to tell you, when someone's gone, you can't get them back. So pray all you
That's
can
right.
for them, that God lets them stay, and you can just hang on to them a little while longer. Because gone is for eternity. It's not, it's a no more. And a lot of times you don't know what you're losing until it's gone. So
That's
do
right.
all you can to keep what you got in this world, and pray for these.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Life goes
That's
by
what.
so quickly.
Yes. That's. I was talking to Janet
I
last week. I
say,
think she. Sorry. Go ahead, Australia.
no, you go. You keep going.
I was sorry. I was talking to Janet last week. I think she can confirm it. It was so weird because I usually just call her when I'm having a bad day or just text her any other time I do. I always try to keep in touch with her like I do you, Australia. And a pigeon flew on our house, had two tags on it. I'll have to show you, Mama. And my husband's sister was diagnosed with a mass. They thought it was cancer. She had bleeding. They had to give her blood, blah, blah, blah. This pigeon stayed at my house for 4 days on top of the roof on the side of it. I still got pictures, can show it all. And I showed Janet. And it's weird. The doctors went in, did another CT scan, mass gone. God done his prayers and answered everything.
amen,
Oh,
amen.
Yeah. I think you seen it, Australia, the
Yeah,
pigeon I
a
shared.
beautiful story.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very God, that's the God's
I
truth. It
think
really
I,
happened.
yeah, I think I saw the pictures.
Yes. Because I said, what is this, a pigeon or a dove? I think I was talking to in chat with us, and it was just so weird. And now the pigeon's gone. Pigeon has not been back for 2 days now.
Wow.
Yep. Didn't have no message for me. They always carry messages, but there was none.
Do you
He was
have
tagged. I'll have to show
do you
you.
have seagulls in America?
We do out at the oceans, the beaches and stuff. Yes.
Thanks to
I'll
Jesus,
tell you a I'll
survived
tell you a funny story. I'll tell you a funny story.
everyone.
John
Prayers.
O. Maddie and I went to Sydney,
Hmm.
and anyway, we bought fish and chips and calamari, and we're walking along and eating them. And I'm just holding my calamari and chips, and these seagulls from nowhere, they come swooping down, grab my food out of the basket, and fly away.
Yep, they will. They will.
Scared the life out of me. I screamed and threw them.
I mean,
This pigeon
I'm
didn't
gonna
mind
tell you.
nobody. It's weird.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you what.
I
I'm gonna tell
hate
you,
birds.
my son, little Mister Fix It. You know how all the
Okay.
birds. Do you know how all the birds gather up on certain times of years? They gather up. They gather up. They gather up in the north to fly south. Gather up in
Yep.
they gather up in the south. Um, when they get to the south, they get all gather up. And sometimes they're gathering up to fly back north or whatever. So the birds fly from uh, the north, and they fly from the south. They gather up in both north and south areas. But let me tell you what my little Mr. Fix-It did. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you what he did to me one time. He actually, because when we go somewhere, my little Mr. Fix-It, he's one of those kids that like to, pack. He likes to pack his snacks. He hasn't ever got over the pack the snack thing. And so he thinks, even now, you're going somewhere, he thinks he's supposed to pack him a snack. And usually, when he was little, his snack was like, his snacks were like in a little, um, a little,
Container.
like those little, little storage, thing that you take the lid off of, right? Little storage, plastic storage thing with
Right.
just a few little things, in it. Well, now little Mr. Fix It ain't little, no, he ain't in a car seat anymore. He's actually, um, hitting, he's in his teenhood. So basically, little Mr. Fix It decides, his snacks now isn't, this little container. His snacks now is this whole freaking box, of whatever. Like what I'm saying is when he grabs a snack, it's the bag of chips, or it's the whole box of, trail mix or whatever, right? And so he decides, he's going to take his snack with him, and we're in the car, and he's sitting back there, having his snack, and he says, you got an extra pop in here, Mom? Because I usually pack a few pops with me, because my daughter, she'll ask for something. Can we stop to get something to drink? And so I pack a few pops so I can hand them out if they need one. But he says, "Do you got a pop?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So here's what he does. We pull up at the place we're going to, and I'm like, okay, I have to run in here, right? I got to run in here, grab something real quick. I'll be right back. We was heading to someplace else, and I needed to grab something at this place. So I run in, and while I run in, and I can't give their uncle no credit. I can't give their uncle no. I'd like to give him some credit, but I can't give their uncle is as bad as them. He's as bad as they are. Actually, got two of them that's as bad as them. But anyway, the one uncle's in the car, the front seat. I run in, and while I run in, even Uncle decides that it's a good idea to feed these birds. They see all these birds, and it's a good idea to feed these. And listen to this. Here I come back to the core. Yeah, and I've got tons of birds swooping down on me. Like, it looks like something out of a scary movie. They're coming down all over. And I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, they must have been hungry because they're just like soaring down. And here I am trying to get back into the vehicle like, super fast. And these mother freakers are locking the door. I'm like, what are you doing? Like his uncle locks the doors because he gets scared. He's leaving me. I'm like, are you mother freakers serious? They could have got me picked up by a bunch of birds. I mean, that's like my luck, right? This is the shit I deal with.
Oh, kids.
Yeah.
My son is like that, PG. Think I told you the story, but I'll tell everybody else. I bought a brand new car about 20 odd years ago now, a Suzuki Swift. It was a beautiful car. It was black, pink number
Right?
plates with my initials.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the second day we go for a drive, we had to fill it up. He goes, I'll put the petrol in, Mum. And I said, all right. So he goes and he grabs the diesel, and it was an unleaded petrol car. And he goes, Mum, it won't fit in. The nozzle's too small. And I said, you've got the wrong one. And he wouldn't listen to me. And he'd already started putting the diesel into the into the tank.
Oh.
Anyway, $20 later, I'm driving down the road because I headed straight for the mechanic. It's puffing black smoke, and it decided to conk out in the middle of the road, and it did a big bang.
Oh.
Oh, could have killed him.
Got another car
Lucky.
instead there, didn't you?
Lucky the mechanic was just around the corner.
I don't even let my kid's uncle put gas in the vehicle. I get out. You know, there's an old saying, if you want it done right, do it yourself.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, he is a wreck. He's a wreck. He'll pull the thing out before it stops running. You know, he's just like, I'm like, and he wants to, you know, when I get out and fill up the vehicle, I stand there and hold on to the, you know, the nozzle. I keep it in there, hold on to it, you know, till it's completely done. Take it out and put it, you know, back on the thing. Make sure that, you know, it doesn't get on the vehicle or anything like that. And not him. He wants to do that snap, you know, the lazy snap, and then stand there while it's running. And you do not know how many times, I don't know, I think he hears somebody else's pump go off, and he'll grab and there's he is just like, it's like, what are you thinking? You know, I don't even know. It's like, dude, I smoke. Right now we have to go to the car wash because look what you've done, you know. And sometimes it'll be like, one time it was on his shoes, the bottom of his pants, his shoes. It's like, you know, you got to leave those here. What? you got to go to the bathroom and leave that stuff, you know, leave that here. My pants, unless you can find something to, you know, to turn them into shorts. Yeah. I'm not leaving my pants here.
I tell you what, my son's a good cook. He cooks every night mostly.
Hello? Where'd everybody go?
Hello,
I'm
I'm here.
still here.
am,
I'm still here.
am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
that's good.
I'm going outside to feed the deer and smoke.
you guys. You guys couldn't hear it, but that was my kid's. That was my kid's uncle. He turned off the mic for a second. He was like, "You telling them about my pants?" I told him he had to leave his pants at the gas station. He's like, "You telling them about my pants?" He cracks me up, man. He is freaking silly. Yeah, I'm telling him about your pants. You refuse to take off. You freaking refused to take off, and I couldn't smoke all the way back home.
I'm out.
Gee, kids are funny.
Oh shoot!
My two when they were growing up, they'd be sitting at the dinner table and they'd just blurt out the most funny things you would ever think of, just about my private life. My son would just blurt out to my mum, "Mum did this and Mum did that," and I'd be looking at him and saying, "Jono, shush."
She said, "Did the deers take food from your hand?"
Yes, they do. I was trying to call for them. I muted it. They was coming. I was going to show you all. I don't know where they went.
Oh wow,
And
girl! Wow,
deers must be like kangaroo over
right?
here. Kangaroos are the biggest menace on the road you've ever seen.
Oh, I heard them kangaroos are
They jump
dangerous.
across the road and they'll jump in front of your car
Oh
and kill
wow,
you.
Oh,
really?
dear Lord.
They grow 6 foot and up from that bit, the big reds.
Wow!
Mm.
We
Whoa!
hit one night and it smashed the whole front end of my car in.
I'm going to tell you,
Oh,
that's the
Lord.
way deers are here. Like if you try to stop, it can be worse than if you just keep going. Because if you keep going, it'll kind of roll them over the vehicle, and so you don't get hurt. You won't get hurt. But if you try to stop, it can come straight through your front windshield and really mess you up. So
PJ, do you remember? Did you ever hear of that man Steve Irwin from Australia?
mm, was he
He
the
he
one
used to
work with animals?
yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, he used to do documentaries and he got stung by a blue ray and then he died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I do. I remember hearing about that. Absolutely. Yeah,
We drove
kangaroos.
from
Wow.
Queensland. We drove from Queensland to Uluru, which is it's about a 6-day drive. Anyway, along the way, we stopped at motels and stayed overnight. And anyway, the two of them, Maddie, Jono, and Maddie had a boyfriend with her at the time. They'd all go and hit the bar. Then the next morning, they'd be hungover. Jono would get out his camera and start filming the road, and then we'd see roadkill. He'd go, "Pull over, Mum." So I'd pull over and he'd be making a documentary on the side of the road about a kangaroo that's been hit by a car.
Oh my God.
How'd you
Wow.
like Steve Irwin? Oh my gosh.
That was morbid.
Some of them, if I could take you back to that moment, you would have been roaring laughing. He's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
probably as
probably
silly
could've.
as your Mr. Fix-It,
Yeah.
but in a cute way. They're adorable.
You must live. You must live in Florida, Bridget, right? You must be. She said alligators here, and they got
Mm.
the alligator alley. Um,
We call them crocodiles over here. I don't know what the
hey,
difference is.
but then again, I think Arizona. I think Arizona has a lot of alligators too. I hear. I hear in Arizona the alligators be coming out crossing the road. Right?
We've got crocodiles that swim in the salt water.
Oh yeah.
Right?
You wouldn't catch me swimming in the ocean with them. No way.
Oh God, no. God,
My
no.
bro- my brother goes surfing with them.
Hey, I'm gonna
Mm-mm.
tell you, the only water I swim in is a swimming pool. Where I can
I'm
see
the
Yeah.
same.
where I can see what's in there. Right?
I don't like the ocean. I like to walk along it and look at it. But the stuff that's inside it, nah, keep it.
I like me and like me and the kids and and my sister and us, sometimes we would go, you know, places and like to fairs, uh and stuff like that, where things are going on, where a lot of stuff is going on. She'd want to,
Right.
my sister likes to chase. She likes to chase, um, you know, some of those, you know, um, big marketplaces that's going on here, there, fairs that's going on here, there. She likes to, go and see that kind of stuff. And sometimes me and my kids would, go with them and so forth. And um and see,
I do
and
love
see
the
at the
beach though.
and see at the hotels and have a lot of fun and stuff. And I told her, I said, I just can't. I just can't. I can go, I can go now and, with her now and then I could go, but I told her I got to stay away from the hotel pools after I seen what, Benny and them at the one.
Oh,
I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't think there's enough bleach
oh,
in that water. I can't. I can't do it. But you can't pull me into a public pool anymore. I'm like, I just cannot do it.
The little kids peeing in it. No.
oh,
I
yuck.
don't even want to go to the water park.
Oh, yuck.
I'm like, hell no.
I've got a beautiful river right down the end of my street. It
Oh,
looks really
really?
nice to swim in.
Oh, that's
Yeah. And
beautiful.
it's got a pontoon and a ladder. So I
You know,
might go and have a swim in summer.
I don't know if you've ever been by the sea, but I'm going to tell you,
Yeah,
man, it's
I
the most
grew up.
beautiful sight you ever saw is standing on a seashore
Yeah,
and looking out. It looks like a sheet of glass
it's
that just
beautiful.
doesn't ever end. You know, it it kind
Yeah,
of it kind of reminds you, you know, it kind of reminds you of what walking in heaven would look like. And that's what
exactly. I was
that's
just going to say that it's the most peaceful place on earth
what is
when you've got
beautiful.
problems. If you've got problems,
You
take your shoes off, go
you
down
wonder
to the water's edge and walk along the beach
you wonder
and
what
just
it's
sit
like
there.
to walk on that water. You just you know you
Wouldn't that
just
be wonderful?
wouldn't it though? Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to just start walking out through there?
Yeah, that means I could walk from here and I could be over to you within maybe a month.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, it is the most. It's like it's like never ending. It's like it won't ever end. you know, if I think to myself, if the sea,
Beautiful.
if it was glass, if it was glass, you know, it kind of reminds you what walking in heaven would look like.
Yeah.
Because, you
Seems
know,
like
in the
just
Bible, it
witnessing.
says that God divided the waters. He divided, you know, the waters above, you know, and with the waters below. And the waters above is called the floor mats of heaven. So if that's the floor of heaven, then obviously that's what it would be like being on top of the floor of heaven. It would be like walking on that
Yeah.
sea. Beautiful, absolutely
Look,
beautiful.
Yeah.
look what I
Anyway,
just went and
PG,
checked.
I'm gonna get off. Can you boot me? What is that?
I
A big yellow
don't know, but
squash,
it's
late
huge,
summer squash.
right?
That's massive.
It must
Very.
come out of the garden.
Yes.
Wow. All
And
right, can you
it
kick
was
me
a
off,
big old
PG?
squash. All right,
Give me
girl.
the steel toe boot.
I had a lot of
No,
fun
I
with you
hate it when
guys
she gets off
tonight.
here.
God bless.
Yeah, you too. Love you both.
Love you too,
We
girl.
love
You know.
you.
Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
I went out and picked it up.
Bye bye.
Be
Tell
safe.
Maddie I love her.
I will. She's here. She can hear you.
Get online, Maddie.
I
Bye.
love her and her daughter. Maddie is
Yes,
so
they're
beautiful.
great. They are.
What was that thing, girl? A huge squash?
A big summer squash, late summer squash.
Yeah. Did you grow pumpkins too?
No, I didn't. No. I did tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, you name it. Did it
A
all.
lot of times you can enter your pumpkins in the fair.
Yeah,
Have like the biggest pumpkin contest.
right. This
And man,
makes 2 years here,
they
so
have some huge pumpkins. I don't know what
right.
they do. I don't know what they're doing to get them to look like that, but whoa, that's a lot of pumpkin pie, right?
It is. I don't never like my squash this big, and I'm like, oh my word, and I'm like, there is a big one down there. So they're not good when they're like that, though. I
If
don't
I
like
had a pumpkin that big, I'd put it in the front yard to scare everybody.
it. I'll grow some pumpkins and send them to you, Mama. I was hoping a deer would be out. They was out earlier, and now they're not there now.
If I had a pumpkin that big, girl, my daughter would be making a pumpkin house out of it.
She would
For real. I'd look out there and she'd have a door and windows.
make a little fairy house out of it.
Her and her girlfriends would have done they would have done cleaned that pumpkin out,
Yep.
made himself a house with it.
My tomatoes, I grew tons of them this year, and it's been a lot.
Yeah, pumpkins on
They
steroids, right? That's what I'm
on
talking about.
steroids. Yeah, I just don't know what to think of this Ziggy and Cher. They're cohabiting together. I think that's my opinion, but I think they're lying to get more money.
I think so too. I think you're right. You know, it's a real shame, but you know, um I'm sorry that tomorrow's Friday. I
I
ain't
know.
so sorry that it's Friday because
It's a
I don't
blessing for
have to
you.
work this weekend, but I miss you guys. I miss you guys, and I'm going to miss you again now because tomorrow's Friday, but I have to observe the seventh, and
Yes,
keep
you
it
do.
holy. So
I'm gonna have to
we'll
go
be
back and
back.
watch replay if you don't make it private.
We'll be back. Oh no, I'm not taking it down, but we we'll be back Saturday, and you won't want to miss. You don't want to miss Saturday. Um, I got some real stuff. Some real stuff that you know. Some real stuff,
Right.
everybody. I'm sure you're going to be very interested in hearing this, but I'm bringing it to the table. And you think we had a problem with Andrew tonight? just wait till Saturday shows up, right? It's
Oh Lord, what I miss with him.
yeah. Um, he's gonna try to be a real problem, I'm sure. Then he ain't gonna like it. But
No.
listen, you guys, I am going to get out of here and let everybody get some
I
rest.
know.
And hey,
Well, I
you let
love you, Mama. Sorry for interrupting. Prayers
hey,
to you and
I
the
love you
family.
too.
Prayers to everybody in chat. I'm gonna
And
jump down real fast. Love you.
let my son-in-law know that I'm keeping him in my prayers, and we all love him too. We love both of y'all. Where'd she go? Hey, girl, I love you too. You know it, Caroline. She dropped down. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Amazing second to none. God bless. Yeah, I love pumpkins too. I love pumpkin pie, right? I love pumpkin pies. I get so happy this time of year because they're getting ready to come, they're already got pumpkin pies out, right? They've already got the pumpkin pies out. They got, a lot of the stuff out here right now getting ready for the holidays. But I can't wait. I can't wait till they bring out the hams and the turkeys and the rest of the stuff because they withhold that. They withhold all of that from us until like last minutes, right? They're starting to hold it all back. I don't know why. Who are they giving it all to? Because I remember we used to, get all that stuff early. Now it's like, we ain't getting none of it till the last minutes. I got to write the president. I had to write the president and tell him where the hell's all the turkeys and hams? Why are we getting them the last minute? Who's getting them before us? All right. I I gotta write President Trump, figure out what's going on here. PG wants, I want my turkey now. Right? I got I gotta do like 5 test runs before I can actually put a turkey on the table that looks right for Thanksgiving. And they come out so late I'm not being able to get the test run. My turkey be looking all crazy on the table. Right? I gotta do something about this. Anyway, listen, you guys, PG's gonna head out of here, but keep those prayers going up. Keep the prayers going up for Summer. Keep them going up for Michael Vaughn, Sebastian Rogers, for Jack and Lily, for little Emmanuel. Keep these prayers going up. These babies are still out there. They still need to be found, brought home, justice served. Let us keep the prayers going up for them and keep the prayers going up for one another. I see so many people needing prayers in here tonight. Some of them we know. Some of them we know what they want, what they need. A lot of them we don't. We don't know what they want or need. But I'm going to tell you, we're all praying for something, ain't we? We're all praying for something, and God knows what that something is. Even if we don't know what it is, God does. So you know what? Let us pray for one another as well. Let us pray that all of our prayers are answered in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much love.